What's up, YouTube? My name is Jemiah, and today we are going to be reacting to what's going on in Los Angeles. This is my first reaction video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how you feel about what's going on there. So, and we're going to pause in between because we're going to pinpoint some stuff and talk about some stuff. So, let's get into it.
It probably feels like the nightmare will never end as people in Southern California face a sixth straight day of deadly wildfires. Crews still at it with winds expected to intensify again this week. At least 24 people have lost their lives. The Palisades fire is still largely uncontained, and it's already the most destructive fire in LA County history. One local official says more than 5,000 homes have been wiped out in the Palisades fire alone. Thousands losing everything in a matter of hours, including one family who lost their daughter's ashes.
Yeah, and I was reading, and I seen that it's like 4 different fires. I don't know if they got any of them contained. I gotta read some more, but I seen that the Eastern fire and the Palisades fire, that's the worst two fires. This Palisades one seemed the worst, though. Seemed like the worst one because they can't control it.
We had a daughter, 15.
So, people are losing all their houses, all their belongings, their cars, everything. And I even read that some people's insurance just got cut because of the fires. So they can't even rebuild or try to gain what they had back again. And they can't even get their daughter's ashes back.
15 years ago, she'd be 15, and she passed away when she was 1, and her ashes were in our home, and they're gone. Like every memory, every piece of physical evidence of her life is just gone, and that hurts.
Critical fire conditions flaring up once again, with the National Weather Service warning of a, quote, particularly dangerous situation by midweek. All of this threatening to fuel the major fires, which have already burned more than 40,000 acres in just under a week. That is an area bigger than the size of Paris, France. California Governor Gavin Newsom says fire crews are moving into hotspots in advance.
Some up here in Mandeville Canyon.
Yeah, even with the fire still spreading, they still got to think about like the wind and everything. The wind is going to blow this fire, and the fire's just going to keep spreading. Spreading here and spreading there, and they can't control it. They're doing the best they can, but they're trying to control the fire, and it's uncontrollable at this point.
And which was the site in the last 2 nights of tremendous investment of resources, firefighters working the line, a lot of those assets still here, not only in anticipation of potential flare-up here in the Palisades fire, but also pre-positioned, as we're pre-positioning in many counties throughout the state of California because of the upcoming winds we're expecting. Monday, peaking Monday night into Tuesday, extending into Wednesday.
Joining me now.
Okay.
From National.
Sorry about that, you guys.
Joining me now to discuss the latest is Brian Rice, the president of the California Professional Firefighters. Brian, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for being with us. We did hear from the governor overnight about pre-positioning fire crews for more potential flare-ups. What do you think is the scale of the risk of that here?
Quick question. Since they're talking about the firefighters, what do y'all think about them having the ones that were incarcerated also helping them try to put out this fire?
I think that for the next couple of days, and the governor said it through Wednesday, there's a pretty large spread of a red flag warning. I think the threat is very real, and that the state of California is moving resources in to match. I can't say match that threat, but in anticipation of that threat. The threat's real.
So, sir, at this point, I mean, what do you think are the biggest risks from these winds? Which neighborhoods do you think are potentially more at risk than others? And what does that mean for your crews?
Well, right now, it looks like the big threats they're talking about the Brentwood area, the Santa Monica area, that the governor mentioned, Mandeville Canyon. In some of these areas on the northern end of the Palisades fire, you're seeing areas that haven't had a fire in some cases up to 40 years. So you're seeing
Yeah, just think about how dry the ground is. How dry the ground is. I couldn't get it out. Think about how dry the ground is, and this fire just catching on to everything. I seen a video where a tree, like, just the top of the tree was burning. Not the bottom, just the top. So that fire is blowing in the air, just catching on to stuff and just spreading everywhere.
A much higher fuel load. They know that. They're getting resources in there. But, Casey, it's like I've said, every time I've spoken to you, the weather matters here. It's still dry. The humidity levels are coming up a little bit. I think that they probably aren't beginning to see the type of overnight recovery in the dew point and the humidity levels that they want to see. But it's not single digit like.
I don't think that they thought this fire was going to be this bad. And that it was going to be going on for this long. It's been 5 days, maybe 6. 12, 13, yeah. 6 days.
It was when this fire started. And right now, it all matters. And it is the neighborhoods that are in front of the flame front, the flame front. And then some of the things that add to that, they'll have islands of areas in the burn that haven't burned. They were saved. Or the fire moved around them. Those pose a threat too. You don't want to see a start in those areas that help fuel a flame front.
So, sir, what are you hearing from firefighters on the ground about what they...
I am so sorry about that, you guys. Okay.
They may need here? I mean, are they running into any issues along the lines of, obviously there's already been investigations called for and apparently launched into why the hydrants ran dry in the Palisades, for example. Are there any other...
The hydrants ran dry. This fire is so crazy. Like, you guys, this is something like, it came out of nowhere. Like, I'm just at work one day and I see it come to my phone that fire in Los Angeles. Like, this is really crazy. Like, you're using fire hydrants of water, and this fire is just not going away.
Issues like that you're hearing from crews, and what are they telling you about how residents can best help them right now?
Some of the things that I've spoken to last night with one of the crews, a leader on a USAR team, their morale is very, very high. They're starting to roll into getting some rest periods. But the reason that the morale is high is, there's a lot of interaction with the community. As firefighters rotate off the line, they'll have those connections in some areas as they're transversing or going towards the fire line. They connect with citizens, and those interactions mean everything. You hear their stories. They ask, a person asks you for help, or what did you see in this area? And people are tired.
Yes,
there'll be time for exhaustion.
I know these people are tired. I know these firefighters are tired. I know the families are tired. Like, just thinking about the people that lost their homes and don't have nowhere to go. Like, the people that don't have no other families to call. Like, that is so sad. Like,
and there'll be a time to get rest when the wind stops blowing and we see our containment numbers go up.
Really, I'm glad to hear that you are hearing that the morale is high because of how much support they're getting from the community. That is at least something positive to look to in what is obviously an incredibly difficult and continuing to be a very dangerous situation. Brian Rice, have been so grateful to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
The last thing residents in and around Los Angeles want to hear this morning. Overnight, officials raised the fire threat level to the highest level, extremely critical in some places. That is a 3.
Okay, y'all. So, they made everybody evacuate. Like, now you gotta go. Like, we thought y'all could stay, but now y'all gotta go. And I was just reading that they tried to let some people go back where the places they contained it and get some belongings if they can, or get something, but they said it was so many people trying to that they just stopped it.
3 out of 3 in terms of danger, and it could stay that way for days. Shortly, the wind speeds could be near hurricane level gusts again. The fear is the conditions will soon become explosive. Just moments ago, a fire battalion chief shared this update.
What kind of car do you drive?
A 2020.
These ads, like, these ads, and okay.
With the red flag warning imminent, every one of our fires that's currently active, the containment lines that are not fully contained yet are still a challenge, and it's possible that wind could blow in.
All right, more than 100,000 people are in the evacuation zones this morning. The death toll stands at 24, but that number could rise. There are dozens of...
I was just about to say there's dozens of people that's still missing, that they haven't located.
The people said to be missing. Let's get right to Malibu. CNN's Stephanie Elam is there. Stephanie, we can see you standing in front of just the destruction.
So much destruction, and you were talking about those winds, John. They are really starting to kick up now. I don't know if you can tell as well. Yeah, I guess this guy is flapping up here, so you can see this. It is really windy, and this is part of the concern because right now it is cooler. It is a little chilly out here, and that usually happens during wildfires where we see the flames kind of simper down into the earth, and we don't really see them. But then as daylight comes, things start to heat up, and we start to see these blazes come back. But this is the overall effect of what we've been seeing here. Take a look at this. This was an inn right on the Pacific Coast Highway, just decimated by the blaze, the Palisade Fire coming through here. And you think about it.
Have y'all been thinking about how ever since, okay, Happy New Year 2025, then from New Year's Day to like now, stuff has been occurring every day? Think about it. Put it in the comments below. If you tell me if we on the same page or if I'm just saying something off the wall, tell me.
The Palisade Fire has burned through more than 23,000 acres. The Eaton Fire over on the east side burning through 14,000 acres. And according to data released by CAL FIRE, they're saying that the amount of land burned between the Eaton Fire, the Palisade...
Look like it's 3 fires. And I'm guessing these are... Okay, so the Hearst Fire is 89% contained. Eaton Fire is 27% contained. The Palisade Fire is 13% contained. The Palisade Fire is the biggest fire. But they also got this one over here that's not even halfway contained. Hearst, they're pretty good because it's 89%. So, but these two, these the ones that's causing the most trouble.
Palisade Fire and the Hearst Fire is more than the size, the total area of Paris. Larger. I mean, just phenomenal numbers to actually try to compute and digest of just how large these fires are. The other concern, though, with these winds is that while they have had some containment come together for some of these fires, and some of them they've knocked down, the issue is with these winds, those containment numbers could go back down. And I know a lot of people just want to get back into their homes if they're in those evacuation areas. But take a listen to a CAL FIRE official here explain why they don't want people to go back prematurely.
Part of the reason we're keeping evacuation orders in place is not only because of fire risk, but it's also because we have down power lines, which are potentially live. Unknown status of gas lines, and every bit of that ash that it's out there is toxic with petroleum products from the houses that burned. So it is an unsafe place for families to be.
Because once these families go back into that house, they don't know what is in the air, what's gotten in their couches or anything like that. It's going to take a long time for even the houses that did survive, for them to be back into that house regularly.
That's very true. And even here, standing here by this inn, even though I'm not in it, I can smell that metallic smell that you smell after wildfires that goes through not just brush and trees, but through buildings like this. And that is part of the concern, along with the fact that we have these wind warnings. So they're saying if things go the way they hope they go over the next couple of days, the earliest that we may see people going back into their homes is on Thursday, John.
You know, this has been going on for so long now. In days, more of it to come. It's got to be overwhelming.
Okay, so you guys. So that was just an update of right now what's going on in Los Angeles. But tell me in the comments below, do you think somebody started this fire? Because I've seen different reports of arson. It was a gender reveal. Or it was a power line. But tell me in the comments below. And we'll be getting frequent updates about what's going on in Los Angeles. So I'll be back in my next video with another update. And with whatever else is going on in this world that we live in. Peace.